Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We begin tonight with some breaking news. North Dakota Governor Jack Dalrymple signed an emergency evacuation order today out of concern for the safety of those camping and protesting the Dakota Access Pipeline in southern Morton County. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. It's because of the harsh winter weather. The order says there's a potential danger for those camping on federal property without proper shelter. The order goes on to say that campsites are not sanitary, especially during these conditions. And a lot of western North Dakota counties are experiencing severe winter weather conditions. This was the scene today in Bismarck, and in some places people saw more than 7 inches. Here in the valley, we were a little bit luckier, just gray skies and rain for us. Let's send it right over to meteorologist Justin Fanfarilli for a closer look outside. Justin?
And thank you, Christine, and good evening, everybody. Yeah, we are still seeing bands of rain moving through. One of the bands is still in the Fargo area and points off to the north. The heaviest rain now approaching the Grand Forks area. We're seeing a break in the action from Valley City down toward the South Dakota border, but looking out toward the west, out toward Devil's Lake and Jamestown, and further west, we are seeing a mix of some rain and snow turning to all snow, where they're seeing these significant accumulations out there. Temperatures mainly into the low to mid 30s in most places. 32 Valley City, 33 Devil's Lake, Fargo and Grand Forks at 37 degrees, 36 at Fergus Falls and Detroit Lakes. We'll keep the chance of some rain showers, possibly mixing with some snow showers, and temperatures falling back into the mid 30s as we go through this evening. And we'll have more weather coming up later in the newscast.
All right, thanks, Justin.
Yep.
The North Dakota Department of Transportation and the North Dakota Highway Patrol have extended the travel alert to include portions of the Northwest, including Newtown, Bow Bells, Stanley, and Tioga. Those are areas seeing snow and blowing snow, and that's creating reduced visibility in areas of compacted snow or ice on the roadways. The DOT says you can still travel on these roads, but they're asking you to slow down. For the latest travel conditions, head to valleynewslive.com and click on the hot button. We're learning new details as police continue to investigate what led a man to drive his car into a South Fargo restaurant earlier this month. Court documents say on November 22nd, a woman called dispatch saying she was in the parking lot of the Osgood Hornbachers and believed her boyfriend, 27-year-old Matthew Aventi, was dead. She said Aventi was in a gold Buick parked in front of Extreme PETA. And when officers were arriving to Extreme PETA, Aventi was still breathing and had driven his car into the building. And when police finally got to the scene, they saw this, along with numerous needles in the car. Aventi's girlfriend told police he had used heroin several hours before the crash. She says she gave a shot of Narcan and he woke up. But when the girlfriend saw the officers' lights and sirens, she took off. Aventi was arrested on charges of DUI, reckless endangerment, and felony possession of drug paraphernalia. Moorhead police have identified a man found dead inside his apartment after an overnight standoff. 28-year-old Thomas Chabelle died from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. His body was taken to the Ramsey County Medical Examiner's office for an official cause of death. Police were called to the 1900 block of 20th Street South in Moorhead around midnight after a woman reported a domestic disturbance. She was able to make it out of the apartment okay, but police were in a standoff with Scheibel until about 2:30 in the morning. A SWAT team entered around that time, and then they found Scheibel's body. Tune in tonight to Valley News Live at 9 and the CW, and at 10 at 10 for more on exactly how police officers prepare themselves to respond to domestic disturbance calls just like this one. The search continues for 17-year-old Jeremy Jourdain from northern Minnesota. This after searches of 2 lakes turned up with no clues. Jourdain was last seen in Bemidji around midnight on October 31st. On November 25th, Bemidji police worked with Valley Water Rescue to search the south shoreline of Lake Bemidji and the east side of Lake Irving with a canine. And on November 27th, the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office used a side-scan sonar unit, which then examined the bottom of both of the lakes. No signs of Jourdain were found during either search. Jeremy Jourdain is described as a Native American male who is 6 foot 4 inches tall and weighs around 175 pounds. He has short, dark brown hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a blue and gray hooded sweatshirt and blue jeans. If you have any sort of contact with Jourdain since November 1st, you were asked to call the police. One man is dead and is identified as a Somali refugee. At least 9 others are hurt. This after a brazen attack on a college campus. It happened at the Ohio State University in Columbus, and police say some victims were slashed with a knife. Others were hit by a car. We don't know if there's a motive for the attack. NBC's Chris Pallone has this story.
Mid-morning, calm, and then chaos at one of the nation's largest college campuses, Ohio State University.
I was going to class and just saw people running and was nervous.
It was originally reported as an active shooter situation, but witnesses say a fire alarm caused a crowd to gather outside an engineering building. That's when a man in a car jumped the sidewalk and plowed into them.
Someone came through, hitting them with their car, hitting people with the car.
Police say the man got out of the car and attacked bystanders with a butcher knife.
We heard the chaos, shouts, screams, shots, that kind of thing.
An officer confronted the attacker, then shot and killed him.
He engaged the suspect and he eliminated the threat.
Law enforcement sources tell NBC News that the attacker was an 18-year-old Somali living in the U.S. legally, a student at Ohio State named Abdul Razak Ali Artan. They believe the attack was intentional. Now they're trying to figure out why.
This was done on purpose, to go over the curb and strike pedestrians and then get out and start striking them with a knife. That was on purpose.
All victims are expected to survive, though the emotional wounds might take longer to heal.
It's not real. You go numb. It's not supposed to happen.
Classes at Ohio State have been canceled for the day as the investigation continues. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
We'll have the latest on today's events tonight on Valley News Live at 9 on the CW and Valley News Live 10 at 10. An accountant has admitted to stealing at least $3.1 million from Cargill, a Minnesota-based grain shipping company. Diane Backus of Athens, New York, pleaded guilty today in federal court to mail fraud and filing a false income tax return. U.S. Attorney Richard Hartain says Backus not only stole from Cargill, but also caused at least $25 million in losses to the Minnesota-based company by manipulating customer invoices and payments. She faces up to 20 years in prison when she's sentenced on March 28th. It will be 3 years ago next month that a crude oil train accident and explosion rocked and shocked residents of Castleton, North Dakota. Now a UND engineering professor has been consulting Congress about the safety of crude oil trains. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson talks with Professor George Bible about what's been done to protect our communities from crude oil train accidents.
When this crude oil train derailed and exploded at Castleton, it seemed to be a miracle that no one was injured. However, it did put the focus on just how dangerous all those crude oil trains can be. UND engineering professor George Bible says several safety regulations have been put in place, including more track inspections that should make crude oil trains relatively safe.
They've made adjustments to make them safer. There's a lot of little things they can do on the edges to make them significantly safer. In fact, in my book, I kind of track the history of hazmat shipments and the improvements they make. They do more inspections of the track, the train. They can reroute things to avoid people and waterways.
In fact, Bible was recently called on by Congress to consult on new laws that require electronic brakes on crude oil trains. Supposedly, those type of brakes can stop trains faster if it derails.
I'm sympathetic to the industry's point of view, that it doesn't make that big a difference, but it's still subject to debate.
Bible says the bottom line in all this is you can never guarantee accident-free crude oil trains. Bible says pipelines are the safest way to transport oil. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
Production and traffic of North Dakota crude oil is expected to pick up speed again under the Trump administration. The first commercial flight from the United States to Havana in more than 50 years landed in Cuba today. The arrival came as the island begins a week of memorial services for leader Fidel Castro, who passed away last Friday at the age of 90. For years, U.S. travelers to the island have had to go through some burdensome charter flights with 4-hour check-ins. The U.S. and Cuba signed a deal in February to restore commercial air traffic, making one of the most important developments since Presidents Raul Castro and Barack Obama announced they would restore diplomatic relations nearly 2 years ago. And simultaneous 21 gun salutes sounded in Havana today for the late communist dictator Fidel Castro. Soldiers participated in the event, saying they will defend the ideas of their commander in the Cuban Revolution at any cost. On Wednesday, Castro's ashes will begin a 3-day procession east across Cuba, retracting the march of his bearded rebel army from the Sierra Maestra Mountains to the Capitol. The man charged with killing 9 black parishioners inside a South Carolina church will represent himself during his federal trial. The judge ruled Dylan Roof can act as his own lawyer while calling Roof's request to represent himself unwise. Lawyers will be in court to advise Roof during proceedings. Jury selection resumed today after the judge's ruling, a process expected to take up to weeks. Roof could face the death penalty if convicted. Yet another Thanksgiving has come and gone, and now the March for Christmas is on. And you can get into the holiday spirit this weekend at Bonanzaville. The Christmas on the Prairie is this Saturday, December 3rd, from 10 in the morning until 5. There are 1900s themed events like horse-drawn wagon rides, or you can make a Christmas card on an old printing press. Of course, Santa will be there, and there will be carolers throughout the village. It's $3 for kids and $5 for adults. Then later that night, you can pay a little extra for Christmas dinner and concert featuring the Oak Grove Choir. That gets going at 5:30 p.m. It just might be the power lacing shoe of your dreams, but they come with a hefty price tag. The sneakers that can tie themselves, still ahead tonight.
And we will see more of the same tomorrow. A mix of some rain and some snow showers as temperatures stay into the mid to upper 30s. I'll tell you when this system gets out of here. Coming up next.